The date, the day of BlizzCon 2019. The time, whatever time it was. Most of Do Not Relent was having a blast in Anaheim. But Aaron, oh Aaron, he was left at home to eat Hot Pockets and drink old stale beer. So join us for a tale of what happens to those who don't get a ticket to BlizzCon.
3, 2, 1. Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight from the Scarlet Halls, this is Aaron. And I guess I have a guest tonight. So obviously you know that the other boys have fun Warcraft monikers. What should we call you?
You know, you're just Aaron the human, right? Or you're the horde punching bag?
Yes, I'm Aaron, Mage Extraordinaire, and Horde Punching Bag. That was a call sign that I used on the original
You know, I'm going to call
show.
you out right now. Hey, this is my interview now. You're the guest. Why do you call yourself that?
Okay, so this is a fun story. So, as you may or may not have known, because I've known you for almost a year now, I was dueling podcasts at one point. It was with Will. Right. So we were Trade Chat, and then a very famous, famous Warcraft streamer named Trade Chat, we got snitched on, and she was like, hey, don't use my name. Or no, I'm sorry, we found out about her, and we were like, okay, we're going to differentiate ourselves. We're going to be 2 Trade Chat, because that's what the thing is called. She was like, hey, don't do that. And so we rebranded as Heroes Callboard, and then we started doing other stuff. Will stopped playing. I was doing 2 at the same time, so I was just like, I'm going to refocus myself. But in that one, we decided to use our human names. Just Will and Aaron. And then when we started Do Not Relent, they're like, well, we're going to have fun pseudonyms that are our characters. And I'm like, well, I could be Growlina, but people already know who I am because my voice, I'm using my Christian name in that one every single time. And also, in the development, since episode 1, she's been her own character on the show. So I felt like that would be weird to be like, and I'm Growlina, and here's Growlina. So I just decided to be me. As far as the suffix, that was something that I used to talk about me playing the game in the first episode of Trade Chat Heroes Callboard. And I was like, that's kind of fun and snappy. You need a fun, snappy thing to be in podcasting. I guess that's my thing now.
You should just totally rebrand and become Cubbybub.
You know what? The boys have said that I should be a Cubbybub, but no.
It suits you. You know it. It does.
Well, I think you're in a unique position to want me to be Cubbybub.
Or I can be Cubbybub. Who gives a fuck?
Okay, so we circled back.
Hey, it's your boy, Cubbybub.
So is that what you're going for? Your Cubbybub?
Since you won't own up to it, I'll be Cubbybub. He deserves better.
Okay, well, after that little intro there, I'm here in the studio alone because the other boys are in Anaheim right now. We're recording this the Saturday of BlizzCon. I'm sure you'll hear from them in a low-quality post later.
Drunkenly in a hotel room.
Yeah, with them and friend of the podcast, Will and Andrew. They'll all be yelling about their opinions drunkenly.
So now you'll get Cubbybub and Aaron drunkenly talking about, wow.
Yes. Yes. So, Cubs, do you want to go into how we actually know each other? Are we strictly business on this recording?
We can say I don't really mind.
Actually, you know what? Nope. The mystery has to be there. If you're going under a moniker, these people can't know who you are. So
okay,
you're just...
He just found me on the street.
Yep, you're just a feminine voice that I have pulled in for an interview, so I'm not so alone.
Yeah.
So, Cubbybub, I don't know if you've listened. Well, actually, I was about to say, I don't know if you've listened to the show, but you have
Are you
enough to
serious?
call me out on my catchphrase.
Yeah, I can call
So,
you out on everything. I've listened to them all, mostly.
so Cubs, what is your World of Warcraft experience? Because obviously the boys and I are deeply, deeply entrenched in it. What would you say growing up a young kid on the streets of Stormwind? What would you say your experience is?
I am as casual as they come.
Growing up, like as a as a baby child, did
Yes.
you ever see Warcraft around?
Oh, yes,
Did you have any
absolutely.
friends? Oh, so tell me about that.
Okay. Well, my father, he was into StarCraft when I was really young.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah.
This is some deep lore.
Yeah, some deep lore way
Robert
back
was
when.
into StarCraft?
Yes, he really enjoyed StarCraft, and my brother kind of played it too. So from that, I remember just kind of looking through. This is so dumb. When I was really young, I would look in his office, and I would see like how, of course, the CD-ROMs way back when it would tell you like about all the games and stuff, and there was like a
Mm-hmm.
flyer inside talking about World of Warcraft. I think I can safely say that was like the first time I've heard about World of Warcraft.
Oh no. I mean, that would be about the time that was really getting pushed
Yeah,
when based on my
2005, right?
yeah, 2005 was the game was about a year old,
Four?
and I think we
2004.
were I think we were just a little bit to Burning Crusade where a lot of folks jumped on.
Yeah, so I'm a couple years younger than you, so I was about 10. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I was
go
10
with
years
that.
old. But
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I am just wilding out by the fact that Robert is a StarCraft fanatic.
he's a StarCraft stan.
Do you know
He would
his
be one of the few
do you
people there.
do you know his APMs? His actions per minute?
No, no, no. It's funny because that was a time when he was really into those computer games. He would play like Undead Tournament and StarCraft, and
Undead tournament.
yes, not even
I
joking.
see. Do you know if he ever did? Do you know what ended his career? What did he like? I'm sorry. I'm just imagining him in his office, lights off, like cussing out South Korean teenagers.
I honestly, what could it have been? I guess getting like a full time teaching job.
I say clearly it was not having two children.
No, no, having two children didn't stop him from many things.
So you have recently started playing more actively the World of Warcraft. That is, what made you start doing that?
You,
Me.
you, you forced
Although
me into the computer and told
hey,
me to
hey,
play it.
hey, hey! I'm gonna say
No,
I gave or not. I gave you a choice. I think I approached it as like this is a thing that is very big in my life, and if you want to be very big in my
no, no,
life,
no, no.
you have to you have to live in this polygamous
No,
relationship of both you and the game.
I had to be mean for like a second, but I was gonna be honest and say that I didn't think I would play World of Warcraft until after I listened to your show, because there was a little bit of time in between, like when we met and before we started dating, where I
What?
realized that what?
Oh,
Whoa, wait!
oh no!
Oh no, the secret's out.
Oh no!
I don't know you like that. That was a joke.
We're
Who are
e-dating.
you?
I'm just
Where am
using
I?
you for your bag space.
Well, yeah. Well, while I'm not just being like the person he found on the street, I listen to his podcast with his friends. But other than that, I
Cause you picked it up. I mean, I've always been very apprehensive of like you don't have to play if it's not interesting. But
yeah
you, I think we're like you heard stuff and you heard us talking about it, and you're like, I really want to do that, and that has multiplied
yeah
itself.
yeah. Okay, I'm starting to remember now. There was a time in college, like with your friends, where it was me and my roommate, and we kind of played it, but like not even like up to 20. It was like one night of just being bored. I think we were just like playing as like elves or whatever.
No, I love it
That's
because you did tell me exactly what you did, and it is the story of everyone who has played and quit Warcraft. I distinctly remember I was like, "You played in college? What'd you guys do?" And you were like, "Well, we played as the cow people." And I laughed because Mulgore, which is the home of the Taurens, which is the name of that race, is so big and so empty that everyone in middle school picks a Tauren because they want to be a big cow guy, and they're like, "This sucks," and then they stop. Adam, my brother, and I did it. Immune did it when he first started. It's lovely.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm just. It was such a nondescript night of just being like, what the fuck can we do? Like, we're bored. And then we kind of dip through MMOs from time to time, just like the random anime ones. And we would dip out of that because my computer couldn't run it, lol. Like, my computer can't run anything anymore.
I'm surprised that your computer is able to carry this conversation. There's at least like 2 or 3 programs needed for this.
Yeah. How many times do you think a computer is alive after 6 years of living? Truthfully. I've taken good care of it, though. As much as I can. But, so we played as elves. I think we were blood elves?
Well, we found out last night that you may or may not know what a blood elf is.
Okay, well, then we will get to that. We will get to that. Shit. We did that, and then we totally just threw WoW out. Like, we never played it again. Never picked it up.
That's understandable.
So I had the experience. Yeah, I had the experience of WoW. And I've played many of MMORPGs in my life. Just randomly, not really sticking with them. But ever since we met and I was listening to you guys, I was like, whatever. I want to try it again. Because it's been so long. It's been about 4 years since I've done it. Like, for real. Other than looking in my dad's office and seeing, like, a pamphlet about it.
So now that you're playing a little bit more regularly, what would you consider your main? As far as, like, your faction, your class, your race?
Well, you know this. I'm for the Alliance all the way. Honey.
I was like, if you had chose Horde, I would be like, I wonder what Ragnarok Online is like. I would have steered you away.
Yes. No. I don't like the Horde. I'll just say that. Although I will give them props. Their races are, to me, far more interesting looking. Because, I like how the monsters look. But
that is
and then
more
there's
than
the
fair.
Alliance, where it's just like, humans. I can be a man. I like men. I'll be a man.
Although they did just announce, I was watching a panel, you can finally be different races of humans. And they definitely showed an Asian guy, like human. And then
Really?
I saw the cameras super zoom into like these 2 Asian folks in the front row. Like, what do you think about it? Only Asian
no.
folks we could find.
Oh, no. So, truthfully, there wasn't, like, any other skin tones other than, like, white?
You could be brown, but it
Like,
was
brown or, like, dark?
you could, okay, I will say this. You could be black, like dark skinned, but
Okay.
the hairstyles were fine
They don't
in
match.
a way
Yeah.
that they were like air quotes like Caucasian hair.
Yes.
And they are announcing, at least they showed one woman, they have like more like kinkier hairstyles, not like kinky like but like
Yes.
traditionally African American hairstyles.
Right.
And it's so while Uther the Lightbringer is not going to be like, you're black, you can pick people who look like African American folks.
Okay. Well, that is a step in the right direction. I actually never knew that. But looking at the character screen,
said it yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, looking at the character screen just as of yesterday night, there were some quite interesting ones that I saw for not only just humans but trolls and dwarves. Or goblins. Are they goblins?
There are goblins for
Trolls.
the Horde. Trolls, dwarves, and goblins
back
are
on
all
no,
three
back on
things.
topic. Back on topic. I'm for the Alliance. I love the animal races. I like Worgen and I like the Pandaren, which
Now,
is
do
what I
you
went.
actually like Worgen, or are you afraid you're going to hurt my feelings?
No, no, no. I do. I actually like how they look because, like I'm trying to say, I don't like how the humans look. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't like. I just like, and if you're in a game like that, I would want to try and be something different.
I wholeheartedly agree. It warms the cockles of my heart to hear you say that. Even though my bias has pushed you towards the Alliance, which only has 2.5 beast-looking races. But I'm
Yeah,
so which character would you say is your main then? Because I know you have a few.
which, like class? You mean?
Yeah, between the two or three I've seen you play.
I like being a hunter. That I'll just clarify right now. I do have a level 20 on the starter edition Pandaren. Her name's Cleffy. She's a baller, and she is a Pandaren hunter, and I think she's a survival hunter.
She is. I'm very
Yes,
glad you
I
remembered that.
I really enjoy how she plays. However, playing the rogue yesterday, I started another character as a night elf, not a blood elf.
Yes,
A night elf
a very important distinction.
that is a rogue, and I honestly think I'll like that the most, even though I'm only level 5 right now. I can kind of tell that she's going to be doing like combos, and in any
Hmm.
game, I really like that kind of battle style.
Yeah, it's very mathematical, which is why your boy does not like playing a rogue. Growlina is a very powerful mage, but her rotation is definitely only 4 buttons.
I'm trying to think of what I named the night elf. It was something along the lines of
It's
era.
real high
It's
fantasy.
it's real high fantasy, and it was definitely not taken off of the random names.
Hey, I mean, I can't shame you for that. Andrew's character, Rokama, was literally just he was ciphering through the randoms and added AH at the end. And
I mean, truthfully,
he's been
yeah.
playing that guy for like 12 years.
Truthfully, I think it works because it helps people like me who can literally never make up their damn mind when it comes to names and like how things look. Because I would sit there trying to think of like the perfect name. And then you see people up there on being like fart master, and I'm like,
I
no.
wish I wish I had access to Fartmaster.
Yeah, well, did you
God,
try?
yes. During the name release, we tried to go for like Butt Munch, like Dingleberry. So many of those were taken. The best I could get was Ass to Mouth, which I need to start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely prefer the random names. I guess it kind of helps you kind of world build in that way because like you see like a panda and it's named something like really stupid. Like you're going through the quests and it's just like, "Oh, it's you." Like
It's
I can't
you,
even think of a name.
Dingleberry. Yep, that's
Dingleberry.
me, Dingleberry the Rogue.
It's me.
Let that name be written down in the annals of history.
But I definitely would say rogue, even though I'm a baby in that class right now. I do think it will end up being what I enjoy. Although I am not going against being a priest eventually.
Priests are very fun. So the immunization behind Immune's name is a priest, and he loves it, which that's another one that I don't understand. I tried healing as a priest. I couldn't do it. But both Immune and one of Slide's 10,000 alts is a priest. And it's like, well, you do you. There's also Shadow, which is the damage one, where they use like spooky tendrils and stuff. And that is very fun.
I would try a mage if you weren't already being a mage. I don't know. I just don't like playing off of other people, you know? I always want to be something different, but also something that it interests me.
That's fair. Well, I feel like every class has interesting parts to it except for monk. Just don't play monk.
What's
Which
the difference between a monk and a priest? Truthfully.
a couple things. Priest is a caster, so it's like from a distance. They have two
Okay.
healing specs and one damage spec. Monk is a tank, a healing, and a DPS, and it's all about like up close fighting. They just don't feel like they have any survivability, and they feel kind of kind of weak
They're
in
just
my
like
opinion.
a wet paper.
It's just not fun, and it's super upsetting because like my secondary alt Wigglestein
Hmm.
is a monk, and I go back to him every so often, and I'm just like, this isn't fun, and I usually leave like 20 minutes later.
Right. That's sad. R.I.P.
Ripperoni, Wigglestein. Maybe you'll come. They have a lot of fun new ideas for alts in Shadowlands, the one that was just announced. So maybe he'll come back. But I am going to take the direction of the conversation and take a hard left. Skirt
That's pretty much all our conversations.
that I take. Well, I don't know. I'd like to think you get your words in, but I have to. I have 6 more points on this show now. I have to keep it going, Missy.
I just talk a lot. You make me talk a lot.
So, yes, I do. So, you, ma'am, are a classically trained artist. You'll be able to pump all your socials where people can see your lovely, lovely art, considering 2 photos of Growlina herself at the end of the show.
Hmm.
But I have been meaning to get your opinion. So, of all of the races of Azeroth, who would you say has the best design, and who would you say is the worst designed race?
While I was looking through them last night, I really liked how it was a horde um, race, and what popped up on my screen, it was a green lady. Is that a goblin? Or
So she has a big nose. She has big ears.
not an orc. It wasn't an orc. It
If she
was
was literally the color green, that is a goblin. Is she really small?
okay. Yes, she was a small little thing.
Yep,
Um,
that's the goblin ladies.
okay, I need to look at all these real quick.
You're fine. Take your time.
I really like how the Draenei look.
In general, or the men, or the women? What about
Both,
them?
honestly.
Both. Hmm.
From what it's hard to see them all on the screen at once. The computer doesn't seem to want to show me what they all look like. I'm I'm a fake gamer. I don't know what they look like.
You're more than fine. You've only really been hanging out with me, and we mostly just go to Stormwind.
Yeah, we have a date around Stormwind. You took me to Where'd you take? You took me to the Kirin Tor. That was nice. And you stood
Yeah.
there, and you stood there with them.
Well, I'm an archmage. I had to punch in. I had to do my day job. That one person came up to me. They thought I was a
Yeah, the one
quest
person
giver.
he was just like, really?
He was just jealous he wasn't an archmage.
Oh, now I know why you were like, that's interesting.
Did you, in fact, find the male goblin?
No, not the male, the Draenei.
Did you see? Oh, yeah. Uh, so a big thing that I have against the male Draenei is they they squeezed all their juice into the top half, and there's nothing left for their bottom half.
That's that's what I'm seeing here. I mean, like it, the picture I see here, like they're both in their underwear. He he feet too big.
Oh, his feet are too big. Usually,
His feet are very big.
whenever I look at them, it's their huge basketball-sized forearms and shoulders, and then that boy boop, 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 tapers down when he gets to the hip.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that, like, why do they make the men like that? And then it's the ladies are literally just female bodies with like a cow face. I don't know. Like, what are they supposed to be? Like
Uh,
they obviously have hooves.
So they're alien goat creatures. They
Oh,
came
okay.
who can like live forever. They came from space and crashed. They've been running around for like 18,000 years, and then they came to Azeroth, and it just so happened to be where they crashed their ship. So they're just kind of like
Hmm.
space alien guys.
Yeah, there's some definite like sexual dimorphism going on here.
You'll find that in a lot of races. If you look up trolls, the troll men are ginormous, lanky, like big nose guys, and the troll women are women with three toes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I I see that the night elves, they look honestly okay. The thing
Yes,
about the males though is that they made the males like super skinny in the waist, like they're like malnourished, and then the
mm-hmm.
ladies are just like thick.
Yeah, they're Blizzard has a big problem with they're afraid to make the women like they make them smaller, which I guess like ladies are allegedly supposed to be, but
Hmm.
they make them so small and so like air quotes pretty that there's not a lot happening with them.
Yeah,
Like even the Worgen, which is like the most out there alliance race. If you look up a Worgen woman versus a Worgen male, it's
I do
like
see that in front of me here. It's
yeah, it's like the men are like savage and they're hunchback, and the women. I mean, they put out an
yeah,
entire thing just to make them like nice and pretty now.
yeah. It's kind of it's like that argument of like everyone does that with Overwatch, where it's like it's just the same lady but with like a different skin tone.
Are people saying? Do they say that about Overwatch?
Yes, I do actually do see that. I don't know if they're like trying to like drive a joke that's just not hitting, but when I read that, I'm just like, I mean, I guess it kind of more is pointed toward body types.
Oh, because there's no one who's thick.
Hmm. And then there's the Disney type style like face
Oh
where they
yeah,
have
the
really
huge
thin,
eyes.
huge eyes, small chins, kind of heart shaped face, and pointy nose.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and I mean, I'll give them that there are a few characters that do have that, but I mean, people like Symmetra and even May. I think May definitely she has a rounder face and
Well, you know,
even
you
just
know
looking at
that's a
the.
that's a big point of contention on the internet, or at least it was for a little while.
That's true. Where they were like, May's not fat, or like,
Yeah, it
May
was a
should
very
be
strong
fat.
like yeah, like May should be like 5,000 pounds, and people are like May should exist on my fingertip.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
stuff like
and then
that.
they were
And
the one where she was without her suit. Everyone's like, I'm reporting a bug. She's not thick.
she's not thick. But I will give it to my good old Pandarans because I like the size of the males and the females.
That's nice. I know Slide says that the males irk him because they're
Because of
little.
like the beer belly.
Well, yeah, they're round boys. So it's like, how is this round boy gonna be a thief, or how's this round boy gonna be a warrior?
Hmm.
I don't know. I like them, but I'm biased. I just
Yeah, I'm more thinking of like they for the pandas they did kind of try and make it seem like anatomically okay, I guess. Other than like, of course,
because
making them like humanoid
mm-hmm.
animals.
Like it looks like a bear that actually stood up and starts going around.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I can kind of see like the dimorphism is very apparent. I will say that I do like the dwarves.
Ah, the dwarves.
The
Now,
dwarves.
are you looking at both of them? Because dwarf women are
I
a
think
hot button topic.
I think I'll just at this point, if people are listening, I think they can tell I'm very biased when it comes to being women characters. I typically never look at the male characters at all, but we shall see.
I mostly ask because the image of a male dwarf is like air quotes iconic because that's what was in the RTSs. When you think of a dwarf, it's like, oh, big bushy beard. There's a joke that like there's an entire guild based around being a dwarf woman because they are so rare to be seen out in the wild.
Really?
Because they're not like overly sexualized. Their dance is like a Lord of the Dance, river dance type thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not often seen as like hot or interesting. So, and this is like, because this is the general Warcraft audience where it's like, I play a blood elf woman because she makes me excited. That is not
Ugh.
happening with the dwarf
Ew.
women, so they're not
Gross.
played often.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. I enjoy them because, like the Pandarans, like they share the similar body type, you know? Like, even if
Mm-hmm.
the male, like, is a little bit rounder of a boy. I think they really nailed it with the dwarves with, like, the bodies. I mean, even though, of course, the male dwarf doesn't have to be, like,
Yep.
bodybuilder, like, fucking just.
My favorite thing about the dwarves is if you get a big beard, it doesn't matter what your chest is because no one will see it. It's
That's true.
it's a very well known thing. Like no one sees what the front of your chest looks like because every dwarf has like this enormous beard.
Oh my god. So
So those are some of
I
your
would
favorites. Oh, I'm
my
sorry. Keep going.
favorites. Sorry, I was actually getting to the things I didn't like.
Yes.
I had it on the top of my head because I was just gonna straight say it. Fuck, what was it? Damn, it was gonna be funny because I was gonna say it like right there, and then I forgot what they were called.
What do they look like?
They're just the midgets,
The gnomes.
the gnomes. You probably had to cut that out.
That's okay.
Gnomes.
Oh no. Well, you're amongst company. What about the gnomes? Don't you like?
Everything. I'll just straight up say everything, and while I also just try and search them up real quick because they're not in front of me, I just know that I don't like them that much.
Yeah, the gnomes are interesting. That's another one where you're not going to see a lot of gnome women going around for the
That's
same
true.
reason of like you can't fetishize them like you can some of the pretty races.
Hmm. I will. Okay, so I'm looking at the female and the male. Female is acceptable. Male, I can't stand looking at it.
What?
Yes, I don't like him.
What about the male gnome don't you like? You know that Slide plays a gnome. He'll be pretty upset when he hears
Oh,
this.
well, I mean, he probably finds some way to make him look at least a little bit presentable. But just looking at like him in his underwear, I'm just like, I can't. I can't do it. He has like the pro Jared haircut.
Oh no.
So everything about it just makes me
You're
sad.
making this one nice and controversial like 4 months ago.
Oh
What
man, yeah.
between you and me, what is the biggest boss that you've conquered? Cuz everyone knows Pro Jared's is cancel culture.
Cancer culture.
Oh, that's an
Uh,
entirely different thing, cancer culture. Oh boy.
I really slurred my word there, so it sounded like cancer culture.
It 1000% sounded like cancer culture.
I'm one beer in. I'll just let everyone know at this point.
So, what would you do to fix our little gnomish friends here, since they are your
Okay.
least favorite?
Make him not weirdly bulky.
They are strange. Everyone in Azeroth is strangely swole. And I guess
Everyone
we're
is
all
so
supposed to be
swole.
heroes, but like a mage wouldn't be doing curls. What's he doing being that buff?
I don't know if the males have a different facial feature where you don't make them all wrinkly, but the picture I'm seeing here of really old, like short Pro Jared,
Yes.
I would definitely get rid of the wrinkles.
That. So make him fresher faced and slim him down.
Yes, and also, I mean, is there some sort of like racial like thing where they can't have facial hair?
Yes, or they have most gnomes typically have a lot of facial hair. It's like a big silly handlebar mustache or like a Captain Price chops or like a big beard. There is an option to go beardless, but your boy's going to show his bias. It looks gross.
Oh
No,
God,
no
I
gnome should be beardless.
yeah, just like this picture. I should probably send it to you,
Please
but
do, because
yeah,
when we
honestly, I
post
will,
this, we'll put it on the medias.
so I can at pro Jared.
Oh
I'm gonna
snap!
at pro Jared.
Give us that clout.
That's why my final rating for this is a broken marriage out of 10.
So I have a question for you as an outsider to Warcraft, but an insider to the internet.
I might have an answer.
A big thing that is popular in World of Warcraft, and I won't say that everyone engages in this, but it is a a thing that is out there, is role playing, RPing as it is.
Okay.
What? So I'm going to talk about two of them. What is your opinion of ERP? That's a erotic RP.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
Yep, it's been in there since about the time the game started.
Okay.
If there's an entire there's an entire realm dedicated to it. I'm sorry, an entire
Oh,
server. So yeah, we play on
of course.
Proudmoore, but if you go to Moonguard, that is distinctly where you go to get fucked.
Oh, of course that's the ERP server. Of course that is. I'll just pretty much say I am no stranger to ERP because that I have ever done it.
I was like,
Because
excuse me.
I have never done it. It was more so when I was a person in my own community where I had to deal with people I didn't know what age they were getting into ERPs. And it's like, okay. So ever since then, I was like, these are gross. I hate them. No one should be doing this because there's just way too much at stake there. There's too much at stake, especially when it comes to like patrolling, I guess, those kinds of servers. I don't think anyone in Warcraft is really like
Oh no,
watching.
there's no mods to 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 try and stop whatever you're doing. I won't lie to
Yeah.
you. I've engaged as a Goofenheimer late at night during college.
Right, I mean,
Although,
because you're a very sexy wolf lady, and everyone wants to
well, no, I
be
wasn't. No,
your bitch.
well, that's something that'll come up later. But no, this was as a woman, a human woman.
Oh, right.
And yeah, when I was like, yeah, like people like to fetishize the characters. You're like, oh, gross. That is a very large industry.
It is.
My girl
It's
Philistra got a lot of gold by like slash laying down in a bed with a person, and I just type them
yeah,
up a story.
yeah. Things like that don't surprise me. I'm so numb to it at this point. As much as I am numb to it, I do not. I'm not a big fan of it. It just kind of makes me think of like we can pretty much at this point fetishize anything, and people will find some way to be predatory and weird. But T.
Speaking of being a predator, although not the way that you were talking about, another very big, very specific form of RP that happens is Gilnean RP. So people start the Worgen experience where you start in the city of Gilneas and they just live there.
They just hang out.
They slash walk, they go around, they go shopping, they do their day to day. Admittedly, this is all I'm getting this secondhand. I have not joined a good Gilnean RP, despite the fact that I'm a Worgen. I do think they go as their Worgens too, though. And there's a weird like class warfare system where it's like the Gilnean humans who haven't progressed there don't like the Worgen.
Right. So in the RP, do they just kind of be mean to you? Like be weirdly racist in an RP?
I think, and you just kind of, there's a lot of like deep lore of going around Gilneas and be like, oh, I'm going to go to the store. And like you can go and buy like
You
bread
go.
and water.
And they're like, you're
from
not
a
welcome
vendor.
here.
Well, that's the thing is it's an incredibly specific experience because as a Worgen past like level 15, Sylvanas kills all of Gilneas and you can never go back. We have never gone back. So Growlina can't do it, but like Growlino, her brother, could start there, and he just is level 6 for the rest of his life. But he goes and he chats with other RPers, and they get their bread, they sit down and they eat. It's a very interesting experience.
RP in its own self, it's harmless. And I I was being a little like I have vitriol for it because of all the times that I had to deal with I knew a lot of these people were kids. But when you're playing World of Warcraft in like a very apparent online game, you're not quite sure who you're talking to. So I'm not trying to be all like internet safety lady over here, but also like what rating is World of Warcraft?
I believe it's T. They definitely say the curse words, and there's obviously like killing and murder and stuff.
Yeah, so just in my personal experience, RP, I'm not into it. RP in itself is harmless, but when it's something like erotic or something like that where it's like you're pretending to be in a race war, I'm not quite sure how to feel about it.
Would it upset
But I
you
guess
that beloved Growlina got her start having an internet boyfriend who paid for her T-Mog?
No, it wouldn't to me at all because I know we're adults. I'm just saying that
No,
if you're just in a...
I don't mean you.
No, I don't. No, I wasn't talking.
I was on Guildnea's hustling boys for money.
Yeah, and like honestly, girl, get your money. Like more power to you. But also, yeah, I know we're adults, and some people aren't adults. You feel?
I feel. So we have reached the end of my questionnaire, which brings me to my ultimate question. In each and every episode of Do Not Relent, almost, except for the specials, we kick it to our girl on the street, Growlina. Can you do a Growlina impression?
Oh, no.
Recently, Slide tried to do it, and he had trouble, so that makes me wonder, what would your version sound like?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, I guess it works with my very sickly voice.
Yes, you are very sick, so you have that natural...
You know, every time you want me to help you with Growlina on the prow, and I do like the the interview for you, and I can't fucking do it because I laugh the whole time. This is me now. Great.
Yes.
Greetings. From
Is
the
that it?
streets of Borealis. It's sugar.
So I guess I'll also ask you as a little bonus thing. We don't have to super go into it. Of all the NPCs and characters that you have personally seen in Warcraft, who do you think is the sassiest?
The sassiest? Clearly it was my little gnome girl from yesterday.
Mara Finklestorm.
In Pandaria.
I don't remember her name.
You don't remember her?
Mara Finklestorm.
It was a pink.
I remember her. Mara Finklestorm. I remember her.
She was playing Hearthstone, and she was like, "Y'all best be getting up out here, because I'm about to win, and you're in my way."
And you were like, mark her down. She's going to be sexiest. I'm like, I'm going to write it
down. Yeah, and I
said,
yes, exactly. So, yes, she is a gnome lady in Pandaria. She's playing Hearthstone with some old guy. I stan.
Well, Mara Finklestorm.
She's my sexiest NPC of this recording.
Ooh, you can pick up your participation trophy probably soon, because that area is about to get nuked by the ones. So
along
run,
with your
girl.
Hearthstone trophy, because work. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
So that brings our little side interview episode with Cubbybub to a close.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great having you. What are your socials so people can follow you, your wit, and your art?
My wit. I am not very witty. I don't know what he's talking about. However, I do have a Twitter at SplashOMagic, and my Instagram is Cleffabless, and that is the Pokemon Clefable with 2 S's.
Very nice, very nice. And as always, you can find me at the Big Cheesy on Twitter. Follow the Do Not Relent Twitter at Do Not Relent Pod. Our Instagram is the same, and our live journal is donotrelent.livejournal.com.
And I'm just saying, y'all better be looking at that live journal, because that's fire, okay? And if no one else does, at least I can rest knowing that I am the #1 fan of the Do Not Relent live journal.
Yes, each entry gets 1 view, and it's your girl Cubbybub.
It's your girl Cubbybub. Hey.
And with that, make sure to remember.
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.